All right. Well, I just got back from a date with my wife, and I was informed that John Crewe um, made an update to his original post. So obviously, this last video is going insane. I don't really know what was said here, so let's see it. If it's an apology, I am of the type that accepts apologies. Hey, I screwed up. No problem. Do better, and that's it. And that's kind of my thought process here. Let's see what he said, though. I actually have no idea what's going on. So let me move myself because we were looking at something else earlier. And yeah, just ignore the chat on the screen. Cutlet saying he's a shit streamer. I don't know what that's all about. But this is update on the Galaxy base building capabilities. Hey, everyone. I realize my previous comments may have given the wrong impression, and I spoke too soon on this topic. I've since regrouped with the larger teams to ensure we're fully aligned on the Galaxy's future. That means, whoops, we screwed up, and I'm totally not taking the blame for this one a little bit. That's a little weird. To clarify, while there's no base building module currently in active development for the Galaxy, we are fully committed to enabling a large base building drone module for it down the line. The Galaxy won't be the first ship for building large scale structures when base building launches, but it will come soon after, and its potential for that role is very much intact. All right. Before we move on to any other part of this, because I see him saying my earlier comment when things are speculative was incorrect. That right there is enough for me on a lot of this. But on that first paragraph, you are John Crewe. You are the head of spaceships. So at some point, you knew that you were going from the Dorito ship to the ship that is shaped like a peepee, right? And then that is the one that you were going to go with for base building. And you knew that a very long time ago because the ship's already made, right? The ship's all ready to go for IAE. So at some point within the last 3 to 6 months, you've known this. So hindsight is 2020. I'm fully aware of that, but this is an opportunity for a learning lesson. It's ridiculous to say this in year 12, but hindsight's 2020. I'm just going to say it anyway, even though, it's a lot easier for me to say than for them to do it at the perfect time. You knew this was going to happen. You make this post. You say, hey, we're going to be making this unreleased ship for the large base building thing because the Galaxy XYZ won't make it in time. Whatever reasons you have, we're not going to be doing it with the Galaxy initially. So if you guys want, we're going to do a cross-chassis CCU for the Galaxy and the BLD. And at the time, they won't know that. So you could just say, hey, we're going to do a cross-chassis. We're going to create a solution where anybody who bought the Galaxy for this reason is able to have this other one. I mean, the loaner for the Galaxy should 100% be a BLD when that's in the game, right? Something like that. My earlier comments, now this is to the next paragraph, my earlier comment about when things are speculative was incorrect. We want to make sure that when we walk on stage during ISC or in any presentation, you can walk away feeling confident in the information we share. Thank you for saying that. Yes. And when you come on stage and start talking about 1.0 and the release of the game, everything you say now has to be a lot less speculative and a lot less up in the air. It has to be significantly more solid. You have a solid plan of what you're delivering for launch. That's it. You should be sharing information that is leading to that launch, nothing else. And it should be very clear. Now, I think everyone is aware, Star Citizen's in alpha, things are constantly changing, so on and so forth. But there's one thing that you have to get correct nearly every time, and that is when somebody is spending hundreds of dollars on a spaceship, right? So I think when it comes to that, I'm in 100% agreement with what he's saying here. We have to feel confident in what they're sharing, period. If they're not going up on stage and saying what's going to happen with a $100 plus $200, $300, $400, $500 ship, you got to get it right. I mean, there's too many moments of this happening, Banu Merchantman, and so on, right? This has happened way too many times. We'll share more information when this module as it becomes available. Thank you all for the feedback, and I'll be monitoring threads closely if you have any more questions. That's great. And that's how this is how screwing up should be done. Hey, made a mistake, my bad. And I think we as a community should just go, no problem, right? No problem, but please do better. And if and the thing is this happens way too often. This happens way too consistently. And at some point, and I think that's why this kind of stuff blows up more and more and more, is because the community's tired of saying, hey, do better. And they just never do better, right? And I again, if somebody apologizes, I accept it. When people don't apologize and they double down and double down and double down, that's when I got a problem with you. So I take this as an apology, and I think especially right here, and we should just take them at their word and hope they do better. And that's where I'm going to leave this. So fingers crossed. You know, you're not having to spend, I don't know, what do we think the Galaxy Plus the module would be, right? Because the Galaxy base was $380. That's what you spent on it. Most likely somewhere around that range. Whatever the BLD is has to be in that range, and it cannot be more money than what the Galaxy would be, because then they're getting you for an extra 10, an extra 20. If they don't do that, you're good. You're good in my book. I don't know what anybody else is going to think. I can't speak for everyone. I just speak for myself on this channel, and people watch. You know, it is what it is. But I do think that if I am going to speak to my community and say, hey, cut this guy some slack, you know, it wasn't him that got on stage and said it was the Galaxy. Let's not forget that part. But it is him that decided that the BLD was going to be the priority, not the Galaxy. And it is him that decided to tell you a year later, not when he actually knew. So I think we should hold him accountable for that, but I don't think we should hold him accountable necessarily for something that wasn't even said by him, right? So that's where I'll leave this. Thanks for watching. Thank you, CIG, for not doubling down and actually apologizing for something that was blatantly not good, and trying to do better. So fingers crossed you guys continue to do better, and fingers crossed all this communication no longer has to be speculative, and it could be a road to 1.0 that actually is a road and not just a temporary detour like we've been going on for many years now. So again, thanks for watching, and that's all I got.